Joined on the channel today, the legend, the man, the myth, Mac Boucher. What's up, buddy?
Good seeing you, Trot.
All-weather glove first. We're going to start right there, kid. Talk to me about the black glove.
I live in Vancouver.
Yeah.
It's like your native land. All it does is rain. That's why we move away from those areas.
Exactly.
This time of year in the winter time, a lot of rain golf, so you need them.
Okay.
You can't play without them, honestly.
But you live in Dubai most of the time, Thailand, New Zealand.
I live in a suitcase. Yeah.
The 7 wood isn't here. We have to talk about that before we get going. Famous for it.
Yeah, so I'll be completely honest. I got here this morning, they threw a bunch of sticks at me. These are clubs I just got fit into. I've been monkeying around. I've had this thumb injury for a while. It's caused me some issues. It's made me go a lot lighter shafts, just things to try to kind of lessen the blow.
The blades are gone.
The blades are gone. I've officially decided that I'm no longer good enough to play blades, and why would I play a blade? There's just no reason to. I don't need to look cool. I'd rather play what gets the ball in the hole and gives me the best chance to score. So we have switched to the CB and I'm super excited about them.
Okay, so 7 wood is coming though.
Yeah. So the issue is they didn't have this head quite yet for me, but I will have a 7 wood in the bag. It's just only available in the core model in the QI 35, so we're gonna be switching probably into the 7 wood that. But did fitting for the 5 wood and we just cranked the loft up, cut it a little bit shorter, put the weight at the back, and I was able to almost match my 7 wood numbers that I have with my QI 10 with that head, which I don't mind. So
now when you do a fitting, do you hit the shots that we're all Mac accustomed to? How do you go about it? Because you're caught between great player and fantastic entertainer. So how do you do this? Serious note.
So obviously I saw you probably last year was the last time that we've hung out and actually played some golf, and I've decided that I want to take my golf a little bit more seriously. I've obviously built the following around hitting crazy shots, which I'm always going to do. It's what I feel comfortable with based on certain shots I need to hit, but at the end of the day, hitting normal golf shots is probably something I want to get back to, which is why I've decided to kind of try to get my equipment wrapped around what my stock shot is.
Okay.
So as long as my stock shot's good, I can normally manipulate the club to hit those wild shots regardless. You could give me a pool noodle and I could probably still find a way. So yeah, it's more of just a performance thing.
And the stock shot is inside fade.
Inside fade, like
so
open stance fade essentially.
Explain that to people watching just in case they don't know, because there's a lot here that ties in with the pros we've had on, also the generation of player, which we'll get to. But go on, inside fade, how do you see that?
Yeah, so for me, I'll just give a little stance down my line here. Most people, chronic slicers, when they stand open, they're heavy and down.
Yeah.
I have a lot of side bend.
Yeah.
So when I side bend, it actually neutralizes my path and I deliver the club. It looks like I should be 40 across it, but in theory, I'm probably only like 0. Like
because
I'm very neutral. Which is something that people don't quite understand, because they look at my stance for like, how are you drawing a golf ball with your open stance?
Yeah.
I actually got into it with a troll the other day online, because he was like, there's no chance you can hit a draw from an open stance. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, if your golf ball doesn't know how you're standing.
Yeah.
Right? So,
do you think that's why you've ended up in a short 5 wood, a short 7 wood?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think more control for me. I think a little shorter in the woods allows me to feel like it's an iron shot. So it's like a pitching wedge with a long shaft. That's what I like a 7 wood for.
And people watching this that are about to go out and get a fitting, what advice would you give to them on a serious note as a golfer? Because you've stuck with some old shafts here, you've still got a makeup that is on the woods, certainly what we're used to seeing. What advice would you give to someone going out there as an amateur going to get fit?
I would honestly say go in there with an open mind. Let the fitter and let the numbers speak. If you're hitting different windows, as long as it feels okay, like I don't want to use a club that's going to feel horrendous. I want it to feel good in my hands. I want it to feel like I'm loading it in the right way. I want to feel like I can feel the head. Go in with an open mind, but be sure to give feedback to your fitter, because I find a lot of people go to a fitting and they just accept it because the fitter's saying this is the best option. Well, you're the one that's going to have to play with those clubs. So I've always said, be sure that it's like you have little things that work for you, stick with those things. If that's something that makes you comfortable, then let the numbers speak after that.
Okay, now we've got good advice. We've got a 10.5 in an LS, but I want to also touch on these as a double prong. You're known as well for this, the mini driver, you use it a lot. Old golf shaft in there in the Fuji, Tour Spec 6S, Pro 2.0. Driver, we've got the TR6X, which is a current shaft. Talk to me about the combo of the two. Where do you reach for one and where do you reach for the other? Yeah,
so I'm a one-trick pony with driver. You know, I pretty much exclusively hit a fade, or I call it a safety slice. Generally, as the hole gets tighter, I curve the ball more, which is just something that works for me. But mini driver, I find that I'm only slightly shorter off the tee with it, but I can turn it over both ways.
Okay.
So
Because more loft, do you think?
Yeah, more loft. It's definitely just looking down at more loft. I feel like I don't have to work as hard to turn it over. And then obviously now that I'm playing some tournaments again, when you get into the gun a little bit, I just want something that's neutral. I just want something that I know I can get up there and hit like a stock shot.
You tee it all the time or sometimes off the deck?
I like it off the deck. I tee it low, tee it a little higher if I'm hitting a draw, but the reason I do love this club so much is at 11.5-degree setting, I can hit off the deck and I can still land it on a green. I can flutter it up and hit a cut, or I can hit like punchy draw that can run out as well. So it's a wide range of shots I can hit with it.
Getting into the irons, this is, I mean, a massive new look for you. We've got a 3 DHY, PDHY as it's known. Then we go P774, doesn't look like it's been hit much. Then we've got a couple of 5s, so that's a good testing. P770 into the P7CB. Same in a 6 is P7CB, and I see a P770 sticking here. Where are you going to go? How are you going to know where to change in these?
This is kind of the current dilemma that I'm at. Obviously, the thumb injury, I've actually been using P790s. Crazy, but again, I'm playing in cold weather in Canada where I need the forgiveness. Now that I'm traveling again, going to some warmer place, I need more of a player's club. So kind of, I'm really, really happy with the CB from like the 9-iron up to like the 6-iron. 5-iron, I kind of like the more forgiveness, and I don't mind. I really like the look of the P770, so I'm probably going to go P770 in the 5-iron and 4-iron.
Yeah.
Just because I find that I can still mishit it and still get something out of it. When,
makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer for me.
Shape it as much as you want still?
Yeah, that's one thing that I learned from playing P790s, that it really doesn't matter. I can shape the P790s. There's no reason why I can't shape the P770.
Are you having to weaken that to work with the 6?
Yeah, so we weak them a little bit.
Okay.
I think a couple degrees just to match it up, because I want weak. I don't want something that comes out nuclear. I'd rather just hit my 5-iron how far a 5-iron is supposed to go.
And is this going to get in?
This is going to get, I'm going to Australia coming up, and obviously Australia, you get super windy conditions in the afternoon, but it's also super dry, so you can run it pretty far playing those sandbelt courses where having something that I can just sting along the ground and have it chase, I think that's going to be a pretty useful tool. So we're definitely going to bring that. P770 3-iron will probably stay at home.
So you'll travel with at least 15 clubs to Australia?
Yeah, to be honest, I travel with 15 clubs pretty much all the time.
Okay, that's another good lesson.
Yeah, I also have my old faithful 3-wood that I'm not allowed to say because we're at a TaylorMade day, but it's everyone that knows and follows me or seen Trottie's old videos, it's still in the bag. It's like 15 years old.
There's a big void in this bag for that puppy.
Yeah, it's just in my car. It's still in there. It'll never leave.
Respect for the photo shoot. I like that. Yeah. Then in the wedges, we're going in the 46, 56, and 52 mil grind, and then you've got a cheeky 60, but in a high toe. Where are you at with that? Why high toe in the 60? What does it give you that the others don't?
I don't hit full 60 degrees pretty much ever.
Yeah.
Furthest distance I'll hit with a 60 is like 50-yard shot if I have to get over a bunker. Other than that, it's exclusively around the green for little shots. I love that I can open it up, close the face. That grind is super versatile for all the different conditions I play. Obviously, 12 degrees of bounce seems like a lot, but I can open that face right up off those tight lies and still feel like I'm not going to knife it into tomorrow. So
that's just the sole really that's dragging you towards that?
Yeah, sole for sure. It's just the versatility of the sole.
KBS in that, everything else, you've gone back to dynamic goals. Why is that injury you feel? Or?
Yeah, so I've always played KBS Money Taper 130s, which I love. They're heavy. They're extremely heavy.
These are heavy too though.
Quite honestly, I'm going to go back to a little lighter and stiffer. I still like the stiffness because I have a very quick transition. I load fast, so I don't want to lose the stiffness, but I don't need, I want to feel the head.
And you think that'll be easier on the thumb if you go a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
So V10s could be in your future. V110s that I've got.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tour Vs could be in your future,
100%.
or some other options in that KBS stuff, or 105s in them.
100%.
Now the flat stick, you move all over the map on these. I mean, I don't even know what we could be pulling out here. Is this even yours?
Isn't that like calling what's that saying? Because I'm pretty sure the Trotsman likes to adjust his putters once in a blue moon himself.
I like to change, but I like a good putsman for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is one I definitely haven't seen.
Okay, so to be fair, I've never hit a putt with this before. But it's the same putter I use. So it's the murdered out version. It's the new Spider Tour X in the murdered out black.
And you're on a mallet now?
I've used this mallet, this exact putter, in like last year's. The Sky Scheffler head for the better part of a year now. They made me a custom lefty head like this, and I love it. So, I mean, I'll probably toss this one in the bag because it's built to the exact same spec.
Okay, and black and white you like?
I just like dark, the dark head because it helps me line up the ball better.
And then you're a TP5X guy.
Yep.
I'm surprised you're not Pix and you're not Stripe and...
Why?
Because you're all over the map all the time. I just thought, you know, I've just had a little peek through the bag and it was just a regular golf ball. I was like, that's a little disappointing. I mean, we've got to get some...
they gave me the My symbol. So they've got
goes
some
on
custom ones. They got my little Lefty Gang logo as well as my little face logo, which I don't use because I pepper them into the woods and people find them and they're like, this guy sucks. So we go, the Lefty Gang one's really cool though. I normally play with them, but I just came off a stint of a month on the road and I've lost every single golf ball. So I'm traveling light right now.
There you go, that's one way to do it. Guys, he's always honest. Mac, thank you very much.
Thanks, Troy.
Really good. Check everything out about him down in the description below. Proper legend, super entertainer. Awesome to have him.